to hear you talk about the reputations of two United States senators who built their reputations and career on the segregation of race in this country. And it was not only that, but you also worked with them to oppose busing. And, you know, there was a little girl in California who was part of the second class to integrate her public schools. And she was bused to school every day. And that little girl was me.
Mr. Vice President, your opponent in this election, President Trump, has made your mental state a campaign topic. And when asked in June if you'd been tested for cognitive decline, you've responded that you're constantly tested in effect because you're in situations like this on the campaign trail. But please clarify specifically, have you taken a cognitive test?
No, I haven't taken a test. Why the hell would I take a test? Come on, man. That's like saying you, before you got in this program, if you take a test where you're taking cocaine or not, what do you think, huh? Are you a junkie?
What do you...
I bet when you were a kid, your parents called you dumb. They probably called you a blockhead. Because you're a blockhead, Joe. You don't pay attention in school, Joe. Yeah.
To President Trump, who brags about his test and makes your mental state an issue for voters?
Well, if he can't figure out the difference between an elephant and a lion, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Did you watch that? Look, come on, man. I know you're trying to goad me, but I mean, I'm so forward looking to have an opportunity to sit with the president or stand with the president in debates. There's going to be plenty of time. And by the way, as I joke with him, you know, I shouldn't say it. I'm going to say something I probably shouldn't say. Anyway, I am very willing to let the American public judge my physical and mental my physical as well as my mental fitness, and to make a judgment about who I am. You know, the rapidly rising I don't know.
No one will be safe in Biden's America. I can't even call it Biden's America. Guy doesn't know he's alive.
You won't be safe in Joe Biden's America. Do I look like a radical socialist with a soft spot for rioters? Really? And in addition to that, we have to make sure that we are in a position that we are. Well, let me go to the second thing. I've spoken enough of that. Does anyone believe there'll be less violence in America if Donald Trump is reelected?
Oh, think there'll be less violence if he's reelected? Got it? It's a nice country you have here. It'd be a shame if something were to happen to it.
19 corporations making $1 billion apiece don't pay a single penny in taxes. I'm not going to punish anybody, but everybody should pay a fair share. And I can lay out for you. I won't now because they'll shoot me. But here's the deal. COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, it's taken more than 100 years. Look, here's the lives. When you think about it, more lives this year than any other year for the past 100 years. The only person calling to defund the police is Donald Trump. Look at his budget. He calls for cutting police funding for state and local help by $400 million. Once again, he's pathological. A black man invented the light bulb, not a white guy named Edison.
What's the president doing? Look, Venezuela's top-line message is President Trump's policy is an abject failure.
And the filibuster Harry Reid threw in the street because he was frustrated because Mitch McConnell and Ainsley, if you wouldn't mind, try to pay attention.
It's a robot.
Right, yeah. Yeah, you know, and when Steve talks, Ainsley pays attention. All of a sudden, you know, she just starts looking around.
Let's move it up here. You know, there used to be a basic bargain in this country.
So Joe Hayden, we have a new one, Joe Hayden. We call him Joe Hayden.
And what makes his wild claims and hopes, he now hopes we don't notice what he said or won't remember. And when he does follow through or doesn't do when follow through, the exact opposite. Just look at us. Who seems to be in shape? Who's able to move around? This idea of, slow Joe. I shouldn't laugh about it because, anyway, Donald Trump, just look at us both, watch us, and determine whether or not you think I'm misleading anyone, not you personally, but the public. I carry with me, I don't have it, I gave it to my staff, but I carry with me in my pocket do I have that around anyone? Where's my staff? I gave it away anyway. I carry a schedule in my pocket. Together, we can work toward racial justice, economic injustice, climate change, to up the ante on climate commitments, where he reverses the Obama-Biden fuel efficiency standards. I look forward to doing that work together, doing it with you. It's part of how I was raised. I hope you join me and put the future within our reach, where states that, look, whatever state of life you're in, you can make a difference. If Donald Trump has his way, the complications from COVID-19, which are well beyond what they should be. It's estimated that 200 million people have died, probably by the time I finish this talk. There's that great philosopher, and he talked about Jill puts notes up on my mirror when she wants me to, where I shave, to get messages across to me. And there's a philosopher who once said that faith sees best in the dark. Kierkegaard said that. Well, and solace in our faith that our best days are ahead. Because what we're going to do, we're going to get rid of the god-awful $2 trillion tax cut that Trump passed.
What's your understanding of what your son was doing for an extraordinary amount of money?
I don't know what he was doing. I know he was on the board. I found out he was on the board after he was on the board, and that was it. And there's nobody...
Well, you've had a lot of time. Isn't this something you want to get to the bottom of?
No, because I trust my son.
But that doesn't pass the smell test. Like, when you're vice president, isn't there a higher standard? Don't you need to know what's happening with your family? Don't you need to put down some guardrails?
Unless there was something that was... there was something on its face that was wrong. There's nothing on its face that was wrong. So look, if you want to talk about problems, let's talk about Trump's family. I mean, come on. This is... These guys are amazing. What he does, he lies to you. He lies to you about exactly what's happened. Does he lie to you when, like this president did to your husband, that all the workers at the GM plant at Lordstown were going to be in good shape? Remember what he said? You said it, Tiffany. He said, don't move. Don't sell your house because no Ohio factory will shut down in Donald Trump's America. He doesn't pay his fair share. Don't worry about that. He doesn't pay his fair share in taxes. He says that makes him smart. What does that do? What does that make you?
You think that everything that happened was kosher?
There's not one single bit of evidence, not one little tiny bit, to suggest anything done was wrong. You know that, but you keep asking me these questions. It's okay. You're doing what you have to do, but I'm not worried about it. Look, the American public knows me.
Last one on this. Say you're elected, you're in office. What guardrails would you have to be sure that your son, your brother Jimmy, doesn't do anything to trade on the family name?
They will not be engaged in any foreign business because of what's happened in this administration. That's why I've made it a priority my entire career to work closely with you. From the time I got to the Senate 180 years ago, Good luck. 200,000 dead.
He called the military
Mr. Vice President,
stupid bastards.
I
And he
did
said
not
it on
say
tape.
that.
He said
Mr.
stupid bastards.
Please,
He
sir,
said it.
stop.
I would never
I
say
would
that.
Play
to
it.
military.
Antifa's an idea, not an organization.
Oh, you gotta be
not
kidding.
militia. That's what
Oh, really?
his
It's an idea.
FBI, FBI director
Gentlemen,
said.
Well,
we're
then
gonna,
you know what?
No,
He's
no,
wrong.
we're done, sir. We're moving on to the next. We're moving.
Manufacturing went whole.
Excuse
number
me,
one.
Chris. Wait.
Number two.
Chris.
Number three.
They said they would take. No, you're number two.
No.
Chris. They said it would
This
take
guy.
a miracle to bring back manufacturing. I brought back 700,000 jobs.
Was there a clear winner from this group? And let me do a quick show of hands, if you will. Who in this group, raise your hand if you thought Joe Biden won the debate? One person, okay.
I'm going to beat Joe Biden.
If you put this mask on between now and January, you'll save 100. He said it's more important than a virus, than a vaccine.
And here comes the train that he tried to make sure didn't continue to run. No, that's the commuter. All right. No, that's what. But folks, look.
One question: who are we voting for in 2020?
Trump 2020!